Greetings and salutations, figure freaks. Welcome back to the channel. We're doing the action figure review today of the Gamerverse Marvel Legends PSYLOKKE vs Thanos 2-pack. Checking out the front of the box here. It looks freaking awesome. Now, I'm very excited for this PSYLOKKE. Everyone's been waiting for a new PSYLOKKE with better articulation, with the butterfly joints, some kick-ass looking accessories and power effects. So pretty excited about that. Thanos, I'm not that excited. I had the Walmart exclusive Thanos and I sold that when I picked up the newer Walmart exclusive one, the King Thanos one, and now I have that sitting in its box. I think it was going for like 90 bucks, 100 bucks for a while. It's probably shot down quite a bit, but we'll look into that when the time comes. But much more excited about PSYLOKKE, very less than my excitement I feel for Thanos. But this one does look good. This will be my shelf holder in my collection. I'll open up this guy and yeah, he'll be displayed with the rest of the Marvel Legends. Just looking at the side of the box here, we have Thanos as a figure, and then we kind of have the digital profile face here from the video game. It's very pixelated, if you can see that there. And I wonder who's going to be on the other side of the box. Look at those teeth, huh? On the back side, we got them kind of displayed in a video game form. We got the background looking like Tron. And then we got the different levels of warriors that are going up against each other, as well as how they coincide with the new 2-packs that we're getting. So PSYLOKKE and Thanos. Then we get the Wolverine and Silver Samurai, which is a good combo. And then War Machine and Omega Red, which I'm going to pass on more than likely, unless I stumble upon it for a cheap price. Little write-up here. Armed with her psychic blades, the telepathic mutant PSYLOKKE battles the mad titan Thanos. So it looks like whoever was writing this and put this box together was a bit more excited for Betsy Braddock, Quanon, PSYLOKKE, whatever. And we got the same deal over here. We got the figure and a nice pixelated look to look like the video game appearance of PSYLOKKE from Marvel vs. Capcom. Let's rip this guy open and see what's going on with PSYLOKKE and Thanos. Woohoo! All right, just a quick look at our two figures in their plastic molding. Looks pretty cool, but I think most importantly, we got this nice little background board here, and it looks pretty cool. It's definitely a keeper. I usually will toss these out, especially if they get repetitive, but this is neat. I like the background. That's a keeper. It does look like Tron to me. It's all gridded out and whatever, and it looks like it's just going back into some dark depths of video gamedom. But yeah, this is definitely a keeper. I don't know where I'll put it, but I'll display it somewhere. Let's bust these guys out of their plastic prisons. You can see PSYLOKKE's got way more accessories. She's got the extra head. She's got some battle effects. She's got her little butterfly face effect, as well as her psychic dagger, well, 3 hands. 3 swappable hands. Thanos comes with a snapping hand for the Infinity Gauntlet, which is pretty cool, but boy, they could have given us a spare head without the long Batman ears up here. I would have liked that, maybe an open hand, but I think this is good. An alternate face would have made it way better. So, you know, it is a big focus on PSYLOKKE, and I'm very happy for that, but they just kind of came up short with Thanos. All right, just a quick look at each figure in their articulation, paint, and accessories. We'll go with Thanos first because, well, unfortunately, I put on his Infinity Gauntlet Snapping Fingers glove, and we got a little paint smudge there. Now, I think I can wipe that out with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and probably a paint pen. It shouldn't be a problem, but we got that big old splotch there, and then if you see over here, we got more splotchy, so no good. Otherwise, the paint on here is really good. We do have the double jointed knees, which is nice, but single jointed elbows on the arm, which means a big lack of articulation and just movement for this figure. He is bulky, so it's just like, but I don't know, dude. Not enough movement. So, I mean, this does twist around like this at the elbow. So that's cool, but it's unfortunate that he's not going to be able to do a lot of poses, you know. You know, when he's swinging back to take a big old punch, you know, you can't get it so it looks like it's directed that way. You know, he's kind of winding up. He'll never get to the point where it's pointing this way. You're going to have to do like that, you know. So, but yeah, other than these splotches on the hand, this is a great looking figure. You know, he's probably too bulky for double jointed elbows. I'm actually surprised that they pulled it off with the knees. Pretty nice articulation there. Mommy just got home. So, and then of course we got the extra fist that I took off. No infinity gems or stones or whatever on that one. But if you want, you can look at this. Sure. So we got all 6 of the stones here. So not much to it. I do like this blue. It's almost like a purplish color. You know, it would have been nice to have some kind of contrast with the face, because the face is also purple, and it is a different color, but it kind of blends in. So like his face should be popping. It's just not really happening. The orange is a nice touch too. I do like the colors, but again, I think mailing it in is what they did with Thanos. They probably had much more focus on PSYLOCKE because that's who everybody wanted. This figure is pretty nice. The paint is pretty decent. I don't like that, however, on the hips. But it is what it is. She got a nice booty. Holy shit. All the paint down here on the legs and the straps. And these straps are molded on. They are not just painted on. We'll kind of show you how the difference in comparisons. But yeah, you can feel that texture on there. They pop out pretty nice. Same with this legging. There's a little crease there. So pretty nice paint. Got the X on the side. We do have the diaphragm swivel as well as stomach crunch on here. We got the butterflies. There's also like that. It's just like, come on, Marvel. Or Hasbro, I should say. It just, I don't know. I think they could have done better. But it isn't a bad figure. Now, am I going to put her on my top 10 Marvel Legends? It kind of depends on how the year goes. But right now, I'm not sure. I like this face, though. Very nice looking head sculpt. And the hair is very nice. It's kind of a black and purple wash. On the inside, it's like more purplish. And it's very consistent with the other head, which I'm going to show you right now. Now, I think the little butterfly effect on the face, you do have this, like, it's almost like a set of glasses or shades. You got the little ear tuck back there. And then this side, it's got this little C grip on there. Like, it's just, I don't know, it just pops on there. So it is a challenge to kind of get this to hang on there. You gotta do it like that, and then you do the other side, and then fucking up. But yeah, not bad. And then, of course, you got more purple on the inside. And then on the outside, it's kind of a purple-black wash. Hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna turn on this light. Maybe that'll make it a little easier to see. Yeah, a little bit, right? So, I do like both head sculpts. It's just unfortunate because I'm going to probably have this one when I'm posing her, when I got her displayed. I just prefer it. She's a little angry in this one. Hopefully I can figure out a way to put this effect onto this head. But both very nice head sculpts. We'll show you these hands here. Along with her little, she has two of these. The fingering hands, one for each left, right side. The other one's affixed. It's the left. Then we got another left, kind of grabby, almost Bruce Lee style. And then the fist is attached to the figure right now, and that's how we have her psychic dagger on her hand. And then we have a C grip for the right hand side. And then, of course, we got these, which are kind of, I guess, coincides with the video game. You didn't see this very much in the comics, but it is pretty cool. Cool effects. I think they just attach onto the hands or the fists. We'll kind of see how that works out. Looks pretty good, though. With this guy, I'm going to try to fix this, and we'll come back and do all the articulation fully and do some comparisons. All right, so about an hour later, not the best, but I know what I have to do. So basically here on the fingers, I got that cleaned up. There are little splotches, and you see a little bit of red, like bleeding, but I can fix that. So I would hit it with a yellow paint pen, and then I didn't have an orange paint pen because I guess they don't make them. I bought like a multi-pack, this Llama Mama shit, and it kind of worked here. So I would kind of hit it with a yellow paint pen, let that dry, and then hit it with the orange Sharpie. But every time I would hit it over here with the orange Sharpie, it would kind of strip this paint, and then that black shit would kind of come through. So I hit it hard and heavy with the yellow. And so I'm going to give it a while, and then I will hit it with the orange, and then maybe towards the end of this review, I'll kind of show you how it went. But otherwise, I'm just going to go buy a like creamsicle orange or orange paint pen and just splotch it so I don't have to fuck around with the Sharpie. Sorry about the bad language, kids, but anyways. All right, we're going to go through the articulation here. And the PSYLOKKE figure is growing on me. Just at first I was like, I don't know, with all these little like lines here, and it just kind of looks like same old shit. Maybe different tones on the skin here than it is with the limbs. So body paint mixed with the limb paint, little bit different. You can see like maybe this is just like a blue piece, and they painted over it with the skin tone. So that's why it's a little different. But I mean, she's got a nice butt, right? Big old ghetto booty. Yeah. So we're going to deal with Thanos here first. We got the head. Swivels, wobbles a little bit, turns all the way around. Looks down, not very much. Looks up, pretty good. Arms go up about here and goes all the way around. Despite having the shoulder pad kind of in the way, it works. We got the stomach crunch, which is, it's a little hampered, you know, because he's just so thick. We do have a twist at the waist underneath this little skirt thing here. Same thing with the hip joints. He does the splits about like that. So maybe half splits, banana split. Then we got the thigh cut, double jointed knees. Not bad. No boot cut. And then of course we got the tilt on the rocker for the ankle. And then we do have the bicep cut. Goes all the way around, I think. Yes. Single jointed elbow, which is kind of unfortunate, you know, but this big thing's in the way anyway, so how much would he be able to extend or bend that elbow? And then of course we got the swivel and the pivot, slight pivot on the wrist. So that's Thanos for you. So pretty nice paint, except for the Infinity Gauntlet hand. I do like this purple and the orange. It does really fucking pop. The head sculpt is growing on me. I know I say that a lot, but looks pretty evil. Would have been nice if they came with an alternate head with this, you know, not so long and maybe just kind of a grim, like closed mouth face, you know. How could they improve this guy? Second head, double jointed pinless elbows, maybe a power effect that could wrap around his big old wrist, you know, something like this. But, you know, that would have been nice. So, anyways, not a bad looking Thanos. Let's see. I'm going to give him a 6.3. Not quite a 6.5. You know, 6 points, a 6 out of 10 ain't bad. So, not a horrible figure. Just about average, I would say. If I gave him a 5, that would not be good. I think getting half the stars is not really good. That's like an F. So, you know, maybe a D plus, C minus here. So just to kind of put it in perspective. So there you go. 6.3 for Thanos. Write that down so I don't forget my own rating. Now let's go into PSYLOCKE here, and I'm going to get her adjusted and take off her power effects so we can go through articulation. But this figure's looking good. Just little bit of paint discrepancies, that's all. Oh, just a little 411 on these effects, you know, like I would suggest pulling the hand off and then putting them down on the wrist and putting the hand back on. It does seem like you can just kind of pull it over the hand, but it works better if you take the hand off then pop it on the wrist. So it doesn't look half bad, you know. We'll kind of try to get her into the posture position where she's got them both and she's doing her kind of attack from the video game. But yeah, kind of weird effects. They could have made it a little bit more like flush and just better looking, but it's not bad. It's just a little awkward, I think. So it is what it is. All right, let's get into PSYLOCKE and her articulation, but real quick. First, I did get the little butterfly psychic effect to work. I kind of. It's on there pretty good, isn't it? It's a little uneven, so let's try to adjust. But basically, I put the glasses earpiece kind of just wrapped around her head. Same thing with what's going on over here, the little whatever grabber thing, snake head sea thing, you know. It's so it just kind of fits over her head, so it works. Oh, damn, and then it just kind of popped off by itself. Let's see if I can get it back on there on camera under pressure. Oh, come on now. Well, there you have it. Not perfect, but perfect enough, right? All right, let's do the articulation. I got the angry head on there, and I gotta say though, both the head sculpts are great. I mean, this one is looking really good, and I hate to say it, but they kind of remind me of Olivia Munn, and I did not like her portrayal in that movie. I just did not. She's good looking, probably a nice lady, just dreadful actress. So we also got the claw hand on there. So head, a little bit of pivot. We can get it to wrap all the way around. Look at that hair. Looks down about like that. Not too bad. Looks up. Not too much, but yeah. Arms, shoulders will go up to here. We do have that butterfly joint. We got a thigh cut right where the strap starts on the arm, which is pretty cool. I like that transition. It looks pretty nice. So you don't really see any seams there. We got the double jointed pinless elbow. Get this other part to work. There we go. And then of course we got the pivot. Is there a pivot on here? Yeah, it's right there. Doesn't do too much, but of course we got the twist. Then we got the diaphragm movement here, swivel, and goes down like that. She goes up about that much. Combined with the stomach crunch that we got down here, it kind of ratchets. You can kind of hear that. Boom. So it goes one, hold on, 1, 2, 2 clicks. So you want to make her look down, not too bad. Look up, look at that. That's pretty good right there, I would say. Good movement on the hips. You can kind of bring it down like this and then bring that stomach crunch all the way back like that. And she looks like she's looking straight up. And I mean, just all that does is enhance that. I mean, my God. Sorry, kids. Parents, cover your kids' eyes. Let's see here. The hips. Does a pretty good splits there. We got the thigh cut down there. Again, using the straps to kind of hide the thigh cut. Good idea. Looks great. We got the double jointed knees, pinless. No boot cut, that's okay. But of course we got the tilt and the pivot on the rocker for the ankle. Again, very much growing on me, this figure is. At first I was very excited, then I opened it and I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? So she looks pretty good. The only problems I really have is the two-tone with the legs and the booty. You know, I think this is a blue piece and they just painted the skin tone over it, where this was sculpted probably down to here maybe even down to here. The cut is right here. So, just different shades. Same thing with the arms and the body part. So, blue plastic, probably painted over, and then this is just a natural skin colored molded plastic because it goes into this. That's a new piece. So, it just doesn't match up. And of course, there's that same crack again with the little bit of blue on it. So, you know, if you have a closer color match here and here, and you don't have this little crack seeing through like a seam, probably goes up a whole point, honestly. So, I'm giving her a 7. You know, that's pretty good. But I would have loved to have given her an 8, but I just can't. I can't do it. So, it is a nice figure, though. It's beautiful. The posability is awesome. Her effects are great. So yeah, let's get into some comparisons. Little update here. I tried more orange. See, and now you see that kind of black area pop out, but we're going to hit it again with the yellow, and I'm sure it's going to look a lot better. All right. Comparisons. Let's get this guy out of here. Come on, Big Al. All right, we're going to start with PSYLOCKE. And we're going to bring in this PSYLOCKE from way back in the day. I think this is from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure. I'm not 100% on that. But, you know, she's got the sash. She's got this thing. I do like the look of this better. It actually seems more true to the comic book than this. But back then, they couldn't. I don't think they could really figure out how to keep this thing on her head. You know, this thing has 2 nice sturdy pieces that squeeze onto her little skull, where this, it's a little more dainty, but it does look better. It looks more true to the comic book. This actually reminds me more of like a tiara, almost like Lilandra or something she would wear. Deathbird, perhaps, which I hope we get a figure for her. Deathbird, come on. So this one is, I would say, better. It just would be nice if it gripped onto her head a little bit more. But I haven't really had a problem with it falling off too much just here on camera. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, this was a favorite figure of mine. They came out with another one with the black hair, and later on, and you know, we're getting a lot of PSYLOCKEs, and this one is great, and I will keep it. I sold the other one. I think this is the one that came out first, but to me, this one was the epitome of what PSYLOCKE should look like, and she is on my display for my Outback X-Men team. Now here's the 3-pack PSYLOCKE, where she's more of a ninja assassin. She still has that headdress, a regular katana, and a little dagger. This was the 3-pack that came with Nimrod and what's the guy's name? Phantom X? Yes, Phantom X. So there she is. And then, of course, we're going to have to bring in the training suit PSYLOCKE, which is a different take, you know. Let's see here. Kind of different style psychic knife, darker purple. You know, it's basically all the same stuff as her. I think she even came with the psychic effect for her head, But I just was like, how many of those do I need? But in case you didn't notice, I do really like PSYLOCKE. She's one of my favorite female characters, and I love the X-Men. So, hence why I was excited for this new release. So, there we got some PSYLOCKEs. Alright, so we got to bring in some friends and family. Starting with friends, we're going to bring another psychic from the X-Men, and that is the new X-Factor version of Jean. Decent figure, as you can see. She also has the stomach crunch as well as the diaphragm swivel. So pretty cool effect there. I'm wondering if she could perhaps borrow this effect. I don't know if that would work. Probably could. We'll see what happens. But for now, we'll set that aside. So we got Jean and PSYLOCKE together. Let's see what we can do here. And then we're going to bring in Rogue, PSYLOCKE's friend from the Outback team. These two were teammates quite a bit. My two favorite X-Men, I would say, for females. My favorite X-Men, I'll say, it's down the line. It's like Colossus, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler, probably a tie. PSYLOCKE is up there too. She might be in a tie with Nightcrawler and Cyclops, but really like Rogue and PSYLOCKE for the women. They're two of my favorite characters ever, so really like them. I keep them in very high regard. Men, women, it doesn't matter to me, but you know, they're just different categories, so that's why I say that. So we'll put these guys off to the side, and then we need family. So you got Captain Britain. Now this is the older version, the more, I guess you could say, colonial style. I hope we do get a Lionheart version. The really old school style when they first introduced Captain Britain. Wow, this guy is stiff. But as you can see, he's got these crazy old like colonial style boots. I do have that 3-pack with Megan and who was it? Kitty. And I guess you get Lockheed. Who wants like a really good size Lockheed with articulated wings and like an opening jaw? Maybe flame effects that plug into the mouth. Like, give Lockheed some fucking love, please. Like, seriously, guys. Who wants a nice Lockheed? Let's get a new Kitty Pryde. Like Shadowcat or Sprite, or I don't really care. Maybe that, you know, the old tired old blue outfit. Maybe make her more ninja-like, like she is, like more current comic books. But let's get a Lockheed, please. But anyways, back to this. We got Captain Britain. So Brian Braddock, Betsy Braddock, brother and sister. Pretty awesome family. They could kick some butt. So do we have that? We're gonna put these guys in the back here, and then we're gonna bring in Thanos and clear these guys out because, well, we're bringing in the big boys to match up with Thanos. All right, let's do some comparison for Mr. Thanos here. Infinity Gauntlet, Buddy, Adam Warlock. He's got that staff. I added some electrical power effects. But he too has the Infinity Gauntlet. So Thanos is going to get his ass whooped because Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet is on the mend and being worked on. He needed a new paint job. So, Thanos is SOL. This is the new mini comic Adam Warlock solid figure. It's on the Vulcan buck. Cool accessories. I think I added this power effect, but really good looking figure. So I liked it. We're gonna bring in a custom. So we brought in PSYLOKKE's brother. So we're gonna have to bring in Thanos' brother, Eros. Also known as, oh, you better get that staff out of his face. Also known as Star Fox. So this is my Star Fox custom. Doesn't look too bad. I had to make some little adjustments, I guess. As you can see, the red was kind of rubbing off, so I had to add my own, but it's off color. I'm hoping we do get a Star Fox figure, because then I can maybe sell this off. I don't know. But this was the second Walgreens exclusive Namor. So I had my buddy do this, and I came up with the idea. I just said, use Namor, paint the hair kind of off red, make the color gold along with the gauntlets here. And he put this on, and he sculpted it and then glued it on. I've had to make some adjustments there as well. Kind of kept falling off, so I glued it back on and then used a gold paint pen to kind of tidy up the wristbands, the little fox emblem on his chest and his collar. But pretty nice looking paint, I must say. He's got a little red little bleed on his bootay. But honestly, I love this figure. I think it's a great custom, and I'm not really into customs. I think this is the only one, and I think we needed a Star Fox, especially for my Avengers display. Let's hope we get one, but until then, this is going to be it. And of course, these little shoulder things were molded on. Yeah. Thanos' brother, Eros, also known as Star Fox, who's got some pretty questionable superpowers. I mean, his main power is, some people would say his main power is rape, because he's got that kind of weird influence on the ladies. He kind of used it on She-Hulk, or maybe he didn't, because She-Hulk is kind of, I don't know, she's kind of loosey-goosey, but he's got flight, super strength, speed, and vulnerability. He's a pretty tough guy. He's kind of like, maybe like Captain Marvel, or Wonder Man, maybe, kind of the same strength or power level as them, but yeah, he does have that power of influence. Spider-Woman's kind of got that with her pheromones. Enchantress kind of does that kind of stuff, but they're women, so they don't get the bad rap that Star Fox does. We'll see what happens. I'm sure it's all going to come down to being politically correct, so I'll stop ranting about that. Let's bring in big man Drax the Destroyer. Now I'm going to put this guy off to the side because I like doing size comparisons. These Infinity Watch guys. Here, we'll put this guy back here too, because it just seems like... Yeah, I would say that's about right. If we're going to bust out the measuring stick, let's do that and get Thanos measured up here. He is to the top of this. He's actually at just above 7.5 inches. Where Drax, he's coming in close to 8. He's a big mofo. So, but yeah, I think that these all scale correctly the way they should be. You almost got the whole Infinity Watch here. I would love if they did come out with a Star Fox to have, is it Pip? The little like troll dude or whatever. He shows up at the end of Eternals with Star Fox. So it'd be cool. And I don't want the movie version. I want the comic version. So we got Pip smoking the big old stove. So yeah. All right, let's bring in one more big boy. Now, if you remember, in Infinity War, the film, Thanos takes on no other than the Hulk at the beginning and shakes him to his very foundation, scares him. And I don't know. I think the Hulk would just thunderclap that ass and Thanos would be done. But Thanos had a few gems. This is the new Maximum Series Hulk. He is crouched over a little bit. His knees are bent. He's bent over a little bit. So I'm sure he would actually be taller than Drax himself. But here we got Hulk, Drax, Star Fox, and Adam Warlock. Oh my gosh. Adam. Now, if these guys were to team up, oh boy. That'd be a tough team to beat, wouldn't it? So yeah. Let's get her away from Albert. And let's give her a little measure real quick, and we're going to wrap it up here. She is at about 5. Just over 5.5 inches. So, good set. I like them both. I just think that there's ways they could have improved. I always like to ask that to myself. I always like to ask that during filming while I'm making the video and how they could have made these guys better. And I think I answered that. Boy, you guys are probably like, oh, he likes to pose all the figures the same way. With Thanos, again, I'll reiterate, another head without these antlers. You know, I can't really hold the paint against them. It was just how it came out. And I think I got it fixed, man. I really do. So, but yeah, I do like the color here, the purple. I guess we're kind of rolling with some purple here because both of our characters have purple. But I do like the purple and the orange. It really does pop. It looks great. The articulation is great, except for no boot cut. That would have been nice. The double jointed elbows someday, let's make that money and do another Thanos. But until then, this is going to be my shelf placer, if that's even a thing. This guy he's going to be my first displayed Thanos, which is kind of effed up. I never took any of my Thanoses out of the box, both of the Walmart exclusives. I had the Build-A-Figure way back in the day, but he got sold too. So this guy kicks the crap out of any of those Thanos figures. Come on, stand up, woman. I would say, so I'm very happy to get this guy. He looks great. He really does. So, you know, minor improvements. I'm not going to really bitch about it too much, even though I already have. PSYLOCKE, again, you know, just the attention to detail down here, the colors of the skin kind of differentiate a little bit. But other than that, you know, maybe that the butterfly face effect could be better utilized and made easier to plug in or place onto the face. And that's about it, you know. I won't rant too hard. I know this whole review is kind of a rant, but, you know, I try to tell the truth. I try to cover all the bases. Yeah, so let's wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. If there's anything you guys would like to add in the comments, whether it be like maybe some painting tips for my Star Fox and my Thanos. You know, I just have to find the right colors. You know, I just didn't have it. You know, so I just thought a shitty kind of hot pinkish red would be better than the white that was bleeding through, or whatever was bleeding through. So that's how it goes. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching. We're going to be doing Jerry the King Lawler coming up. What else do we got? We got the Gamerverse Kingpin. We got Breaker from the G.I. Joe Classified. Terry Funk, some Transformers, all coming up. I hope you enjoyed this very long action figure review. It was 2 figures, right? It was a set, so it's A-okay by me. We're going to do some poses, and I hope you enjoy them. Take it easy. Till next time. Peace out, guys. All right, just a couple developments after playing around and kind of posing. So this dumbbell peg joint here, big ball goes in the head, little part goes into the neck, got stuck in the head. So not a big deal, you know, just bust out the needle nose pliers, grab them, pop them out. You're good to go. Just letting you know that's what happened to mine. I hope it doesn't happen to yours, but it could. I felt like it could have happened. So maybe we'll have to super glue the ball joint into the neck. Hopefully that'll help out. Also, paint is all dry on the Infinity Gauntlet for the most part, and actually didn't turn out half bad. I mean, you can see it, but it's at least it's not a big black spot sticking out, you know, or a couple black spots. So it looks, you know, 50% better, I guess. But I like it. I don't mind it. So I can't really cry too much about it. You know, I fixed it. I did the best I could. It looks better than it did. So boom. Thanks again, guys. I'll see ya.